During the 3 days that followed, we crossed a dry white plateau with anemic vegetation. Water and prey became scarcer, and I decided to shift eastwards, moving away from the line of the fault, following the course of the Rio Gardera. We reached the reservoir of San Clemente, and then it was with pleasure that we found ourselves in the cool shade abounding with game of the Segre Sierra. As we continued along our journey, I became aware that my own biochemical constitution gave me an exceptional hardiness, an ease in adapting to different environments that had no equivalent in the animal world. Up until now, I had seen no trace of the big predators, and it was rather in homage to an ancient human tradition that I lit a fire every evening after setting up camp. Fox had no difficulty rediscovering the atavisms that were those of the dog before it had decided to first be a companion to man, now many millennia ago. Then to retake its place beside its neo-humans, cool air came down from the summits. We were at an altitude of about 2,000 meters, and Fox contemplated the flames before stretching out at my feet as the embers glowed. I knew that he would sleep with one eye open, ready to get up at the first alert and kill and die if necessary to protect his master and his home. Despite my close reading of the narrative by Daniel 1, I had still not totally understood what men meant by love. I had not grasped all the multiple and contradictory meanings they gave to this term. I had grasped the brutality of sexual combat, the unbearable pain of emotional isolation, but I still could not see what it was that enabled them to hope that they could establish between these contradictory aspirations a form of synthesis. However, at the end of those few weeks of travel in the Sierras of inland Spain, I had never felt as close to loving, in the most elevated sense, that they had given to this world. I had never been as close to understanding what is best in our lives, to use the words of Daniel 1 in his final poem. I understood that nostalgia for this feeling could have started Marie 23 out on the road, far from here on the other side of the Atlantic. I was myself drawn along a path that was just a hypothetical, but it had become a matter of indifference to me whether or not I reached my destination. Basically, what I wanted to do was to continue to travel with Fox across the prairies and the mountains, to experience the awakenings, the baths in freezing river, the minutes spent drying in the sun, the evenings spent around the fire in the starlight. I had attained innocence. In an absolute and non-conflictual state, I no longer had any plan, nor any objective, and my individuality dissolved into an indefinite series of days. I was happy.
Interject, yes.
Yes.
Can we interject a discussion and then do this so we can react to the book? Yes?
But I think, thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. It was absolutely unprepared. No? Quite good.
Yes, this book,
Let us have a discussion before we really go into it, please.
I think it's my first English translation. First time.
Is it first?
Good English
translation. That I cannot say, but I don't understand your French text. I only understand the English text. And I must say, before you came, I let him read another place, another piece where he met Esther. See, this was And I must say, I personally think my choice was much better than your choice at the end.
It was probably very different, but
yeah, it was more exciting, obviously, than the end. But at the end, you have your extinction. That was Schopenhauer. But then he did not stop. And Schopenhauer is now revolving in his grave, because then synthesis, that's Hegel. But at the end, at least he reached Spinoza with the innocence of living. So it was, in philosophical terms, it was a good selection, no question about that. And our real teacher here is this little guy, you know, lying down, walking around, so, so even, because how many of you, if the micro would have worked, who would have understood the French text? No, yeah, okay, 10 maybe, yes? okay, guys.
maybe the first time I really look at this translation. Excuse me, I am very...
Yeah. You are still in your...
it seems really good.
Also I have read the German translation. The German translation is quite good.
It is normally good, the German translation.
But the new one is pretty good. No, it is. Also, I mean, at least it is a good book. Maybe it's not your book, but it's a good book, at least, the translation. But anyway, let us discuss. We are not discussing translation. We are discussing, what do we discuss actually? How fiction and truth can be combined. Because you are this annoying mix of philosopher, writer, liar, and so on. You know, you are lying the truth, and you're lying through your teeth, means through your biases and pessimism or whatever. But you are lying somehow which sound true. That's the point. And what sound true, that is what we call the philosophical part of it. So my question to you, and certainly we can see all of you are romantic, you know, and things like that, but who isn't? No? So it's not really something to criticize, but yourself. We have in this program so many people, and we invite people here who philosophize in a different medium than what usually is called philosophy, concepts, tradition, etc. Would you think of yourself as somebody who philosophizes, actually? Means giving your insights in what you think life is about. Just in a different medium, the medium of novels, of poetry. Or that would be the other side, you are a poet and a writer, and it happens that you have insights also.
Yes, but everybody has insights, philosophical insights. Every human person, so I can use them. But I'm also sure that the philosophical questions are decisive.
Are decisive?
Decisive.
Decisive. Also for you or in general?
In general.
In general.
For me, no. Which in
For
general,
you, no.
yes.
That is what I mean, you know. Also you said you are a born philosopher, insofar you cannot, like we all are, so you cannot help but also have a question.
I cannot help, I'm just... I have a good talent of observer.
Mm-hmm.
I may have sometimes good talent for word combinations, harmonious word combinations. And that makes a writer.
That makes a writer, yes.
But not a philosopher.